Welcome you all to this tutorial video on mechanics of fiber reinforced composites. Myself, Dr. Arokya Julius, Assistant Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering of B.S. Abdur Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. In this video, we will discuss few tutorial problems on fiber reinforced composites. This is continuation of my previous video on mechanics of fiber reinforced composites. If you have not gone through that video, please go through that video. So it will be easy for you to understand the basic concepts. Tutorial 1. A square composite plate containing unidirectional continuous E-glass fiber reinforced epoxy is subjected to a uniaxial tension load of 1000 Newton. The length and width of the plate are 100 mm each and thickness is 1 mm. Take E11 equal to 138 gigapascal, E22 equal to 12 gigapascal and mu12 equal to 0.21. Calculate the changes in length and width of the plate when load is applied: A. Parallel to the fiber direction, B. Normal to the fiber direction. So the problem is to find the change in length and width of a composite lamina. It is a unidirectional continuous lamina. So first we have to understand whether it is a unidirectional continuous lamina or unidirectional discontinuous lamina or random lamina. So here it is a unidirectional continuous lamina. The fiber angle is not given, which means the fiber angle can be taken as 0 degree. Okay. Now the length and width of the plate we know, thickness also we know. So it is the plate dimensions we know. The properties along the fiber direction is given, along the matrix direction those basic details are there. Now we have to find the change in length and width for two conditions. First case, the load is applied parallel to the fiber direction. Second case, it is normal to the fiber direction. So first let us take parallel to the fiber direction. We know stress equal to load by cross sectional area. The basic logic in mechanics, stress equal to strain load by cross sectional area. So stress in the fiber direction sigma 11 equal to load by cross sectional area resisting that is the width into thickness. So 1000 divided by 100 into 1 will give us 10 megapascal, that is sigma 11. Strain in the fiber direction epsilon 11 equal to sigma 11 by E11. We know modulus equal to stress by strain. Using that relationship we are going to find the strain along the fiber direction 11. So 10 megapascal divided by 138, both are given. Sigma 11 we have calculated, E11 is given. So using that we find the strain in the fiber direction. So 7.25 into 10 to the power 5. Next is strain in the matrix direction. So normally when you apply elongate in the longitudinal direction, the compression will happen in the transverse direction. So we use the notation minus epsilon 22, that is equal to nu 12 into epsilon 11. Okay, the lateral strain by linear strain, Poisson's ratio equal to lateral strain by linear strain. Using that concept, so we calculate that values, substituting the values, we will find the answer for strain in the matrix direction. So 1.52 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now we know the strain equal to change in length by original length. So we are going to use that concept. So change in length equal to, that is delta L equal to L into epsilon 11. So L is 100, length of the laminate or the length of the plate is 100 into 7.25 into 10 to the power minus 5. So we will get that change in value 0.00725 mm. Now change in width, similar to that, in the width direction we know the epsilon 22. So again strain equal to change in width by original width. Using that concept we find the value as 0.00152 mm. So we are using the minus symbol because it is compression, right. Now second part, when the load is normal to the fiber direction. Now here when you want to find the load in the normal direction, we need the Poisson's ratio nu 21. Actually nu12 and nu21 are not same. So we have the relationship nu21 equal to E22 by E11 into nu12. Using that, we are finding nu21 as 0.0183. Now we, similar to the previous case A, here we have to find stress in the matrix direction. So sigma 22 equal to load is same. So 1000 divided by here the length and the width of the plate are same. Okay, both are 100. That's why 1000 divided by 100 into 1, which again gives you 10 megapascal. Now strain in the matrix direction, epsilon 22 equal to sigma 22 by E22, Young's modulus 22. So again we are finding that as 0.0008. Now strain in the fiber direction. So here first we will find, because the load is in the matrix direction, so we find the stress and strain in the matrix direction, that is the loading direction. Matrix direction is the loading direction for case B. Now strain in the fiber direction, minus E11 epsilon 11 equal to nu21 into E epsilon 22. So substituting the values we will find the answer. So 1.46 into 10 to the power 5 minus 5. Now change in length, same concept, change in length delta L equal to L epsilon 11. So that is 0.00146 mm. Now change in width delta W is computed as 0.08 mm. So you could compare the difference between the change in length and change in width for case A and case B. So this is about tutorial 1. Tutorial 2. A unidirectional discontinuous fiber lamina contains T300 carbon fiber in an epoxy matrix. The fiber aspect ratio LF by DF is 50 and the fiber volume fraction is 0.5. Determine the elastic constants E11, E22, nu12, nu21 and G12 for the lamina. The properties for fiber EF equal to 345 GPa, nu F equal to 0.21 and for matrix EM equal to 2.07 GPa and nu M equal to 0.45. So this is a unidirectional discontinuous fiber lamina where the fiber aspect ratio is given. So LF by DF is given, volume fraction is given. Now we have to find the elastic constants. So for a discontinuous fiber, which means the fibers are arranged in a unidirectional, that is 0 degree along the loading direction, but they are not continuous, they are discontinuous, right. So we have seen the formulas in the previous video. So various formulas, the constants and E11, E22. So we have for major Poisson's ratio, nu12, nu21 and shear modulus, all the formulas are there. Now we are going to use this formula. Mostly here it is direct substitution. So first let us find the constants EF by EM, Young's modulus of fiber by Young's modulus of matrix. So that is 345 divided by 2.07. So we get 166.6. So that is the modulus ratio. Now we find neta L. So neta L equal to EF EM minus 1 divided by EF EM plus 2 into LF by DF. So we are substituting the values, 166.6 minus 1 divided by 166.6 plus 2 into 50. So the value is 0.621. Similarly, neta T equal to EF by EM minus 1 divided by EF by EM plus 2. So we are substituting the values, 166.6 minus 1 divided by 166.6 plus 2. So it is 0.982. Now let us find E11, elastic modulus in the fiber direction and elastic modulus in the matrix direction E22. So we have the formula, directly substitute there. So E11 equal to 1 plus 2 into LF by DF into neta L into PF divided by 1 minus neta L into BF all into EM. So substituting the values, we are getting the answer as 97.57 GPa. So this is the answer for E11. Now E22, again the formula is E22 equal to 1 plus 2 into neta L into Vf divided by 1 minus neta T into Vf into Em. So substituting the values, all the values we know, substitute it, we are getting the answer as E22 equal to 8.06 GPa. So see the difference, difference between E11 and E22, there is a huge difference, right. Now major Poisson's ratio, again direct substitution, nu 12 equal to 0.21 into 0.5 plus 0.45 into 1 minus 0.5. So the formula is nu F Vf plus nu M Vm. So Vm is 1 minus Vf, that's why we put 1 minus 0.5. So directly substituting the values, we get the answer as 0.33. Now minor Poisson's ratio, nu 21 equal to 8.06 divided by 97.57 into 0.33. So the value is 0.027. So the formula is actually nu 21 equal to E22 divided by E11 into nu 12. So that's the relationship between the modulus and the Poisson's ratio. So that's how we find this. Now we go for the shear modulus. So here the values of Gf and Gm is not available, they are not directly given. So let us assume the isotropic relationships. So in isotropic materials we have a relationship between the modulus and the Young's modulus and the Poisson's ratio with the shear modulus. We are using this separately for the fiber and the matrix. So this will introduce some error, so keep that in mind, but still when the properties are not available we go for this kind of assumptions. Now shear modulus of fiber Gf equal to Ef divided by 2 into 1 plus nu F, Poisson's ratio. So that is substituted as 345 divided by 2 into 1 plus 0.21. So we get the value of Gf as 142.6 GPa. Now shear modulus of matrix Gm, the same formula, but for matrix Em divided by 2 into 1 plus nu M, the values are 2.07 divided by 2 into 1 plus 0.45. So the final value for Gm is 0.714 GPa. Now we have the values of Gf and Gm, using that we find the constants and G12. So the constant neta G equal to Gf by Gm minus 1 divided by Gf by Gm plus 1. So substituting the values, 142.6 divided by 0.714 minus 1, similarly plus 1. So the final answer neta G equal to 0.99, the constant is 0.99. Now substitute that into the shear modulus. So shear modulus G12 is also equal to G21. So for both the formula is 1 plus neta G into Vf divided by 1 minus neta G into Vf into Gm. So substituting the values, we are getting the shear modulus G12 and G21 as 2.11 GPa. So these are the method to find the elastic properties for the discontinuous unidirectional fiber. Right. Next tutorial. A carbon fiber epoxy lamina with fiber orientation angle of 45 degree is subjected to a biaxial stress rate of sigma xx equal to 100 megapascal and sigma yy equal to 50 megapascal. Determine the stresses in the 1-2 direction. So assume tau xy equal to 0. So this is a simple formula. We know the biaxial stresses sigma xx and sigma yy. We want to find, we want to transform it for the fiber direction, okay, and matrix direction. The angle is 45. So it's a angle ply lamina where the fibers are oriented at an angle of 45 degree with respect to the x-axis, that is the loading axis. So we transform this. This is a transformation. So in the previous video we have seen the formulas for this. So we simplify that, tau xy equal to 0, simplify that and find the stresses in the fiber direction. Sigma 11 equal to sigma x cos square theta plus sigma yy sin square theta. So substituting the values, sigma xx is 100. So we sigma yy is 50, angle 45. We get the sigma 11 as 75 megapascal. Similarly, stress in the matrix direction, sigma 22 equal to sigma xx sin square theta plus sigma yy cos square theta. Substituting the values, here it is cos 45 and sin 45 are both are 1 by 2. So the values are same, both in the fiber direction and the matrix direction the stresses are same because of the angle 45. So 75 megapascal. Now stress, shear stress in the plane, tau 12 equal to 2 into minus sigma x plus sigma y into sin theta cos theta. So substituting the values, we get tau 12 equal to 50 megapascal, right? So it's a simple formula, direct substitution. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video. So all these materials are taken from the reference Fiber Reinforced Composites by P.K. Maulik.